Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at treasury stock again, but this time we're going to use the par value method. That means the treasury stock is going to be recorded at the par value. So this company authorized to issue 20,000 shares, $5 par value of common stock, and enter into several treasury stock transactions as follows. Issued 6,000 shares of $5 par common stock for 12. So there are 6,000 par value is 5. So 5 times 6,000 is $30,000. The issuing price was $12. So that's going to be 12 times 6,000, 72,000. And additional paid in capital is $7. $12 minus $5 equals 7 times 6,000. Okay, so the additional paid in capital is $42,000. So let's prepare the journal entry for issuance of the common stock. Cash is on debit for $72,000. Common stock is on credit for the par value $30,000. And the additional paid in capital from treasury stock, from common stock is 42,000. Okay, that's the journal entry for the issuance of the common stock. And then the company repurchased the stocks and recognized this treasury stock for $13. But because we're using the par value method, we're going to record the treasury stock using this par value. So 1,000 shares required times $5, $5,000. Okay, and then additional paid in capital will follow. From common stock. The additional paid in capital was $7 each. So we're going to put 7 times 1,000. $7,000. The cash that we have to pay to purchase the treasury shares is $1,000 times 13. Okay, so this is more expensive than what we got when we issued. So the difference is going to be taken out of the retained earnings. So these first transactions, treasury stock transactions, already reduces the retained earnings by $1,000. Okay, but now we have 1,000 shares of treasury stock. Now, let's take a look at the next transactions. The company sold 600 shares of the treasury stock at $15 per share. So that's above the $13 that we paid. So the company would get cash equals 600 times 115. Equals 600 times $15, not 11. $15, $9,000. The treasury stock will have to be reduced, equals 600 shares times 5, $3,000. And we have to put additional paid in capital from common stock for the difference, $6,000. Okay, because that's a gain transactions. We bought it for 13, we sold it for 15. So the additional paid-in capital would be on credit. And then the next transactions, the company sold the 200 shares of treasury stock at a loss of $8 per share. Cash equals 200 shares times 8, 1,600. We have to reduce our treasury stock for the amount that we sold, but because we're using the par value method, okay, this is going to be 200 shares times 5, $1,000. So the difference again will be additional paid-in capital common stock for $600. Now the third transaction is for recording the retirement of treasury stock. So we have sold 800 and then we're going to retire 100. We're going to, because they're both using par value, we just need to retire the common stock and we have to reduce the treasury stock. They're both at $5. So 100 times 5 and 100 times 5. That's how we do it with the par value method. Now, there is a T account here for the additional paid-in capital that we can use to see the movement. So when we first issue the stock, we have additional paid-in capital on common stock for $42,000. Okay, and then when we purchase the treasury stock, we put additional paid-in capital on debit for $7,000. Oops. And then for the first treasury stock transaction selling 600 shares, we put on credit $6,000. And then for the second transaction selling 200 shares at 8, we put this should be 600. That looks better. So now we put 600. So the total additional paid-in capital for the common stocks that the company still owns is going to be the total credit minus the total debit. Okay, there is $41,600 additional paid-in capital after all these transactions are recorded. So that's how we prepare this treasury stock transaction using the par value. So the treasury stock is recorded at $5 instead of the purchasing cost. Okay, instead of $13, all the treasury stock here is based on $5, and the additional paid-in capital from treasury stock will be used to balance the debit side and the credit side, because the cash that we receive here will be based on different selling prices. So the additional paid-in capital will make the balance for the debit and the credit. So that's the treasury stock using par value method. Thank you for watching.